There you go. That's the joke of the day.
I hope people understood that.
Yeah, definitely Hellboy has too long.
It's too long.
When the game is too long, there you go.
Ironically, they have the fastest game time.
They have the fastest game time. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. And now Nightmare, they are on the first pick. Geeky is on the second pick here. Eve has been banned out as well as the Jushin. Again, I kind of feel like Nightmare, one of the things that they just have to change is have a longer range in the mid, and then they should be good because they showed the Valentina quite early, but then the Valentina didn't have a lot of ways to get inside the fight.
Yeah. And they couldn't keep up with the double roam setup from GK. You have Khalid on one side, you have Cho on the other. It is so tough for someone like a Gatot or Tigger to keep up with the pace. You always get caught out first. You always are late to an objective, so I like the fact that they ban out Khalid. We know GK banned out Chip in game number 1, and now that they are on red side, they have to ban Zusin, which is almost a Fanny as well. This could be kind of the biggest advantage that Nightmare will have.
Oh, they banned out a Chip. So we roughly see Fanny is going to get banned out here, Chris. Yep. No way you're giving too easy for Lexi Fanny.
It'll be madness, right? It's like, guys, it's our last series anyways. Let's just see if the Fanny is good. Let's give it to Fanny.
I'm pretty sure Fanny is good. I'm 80% sure.
Oh, the devs disagree. That's why they buffed her.
Shout out devs, man. Shout
out to the devs.
Right now, Nightmare, final bans here. They already banned out the Khalid. Maybe they're considering the Cho.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Will be injustice in the world.
It really caused them a lot of headache.
Yeah. So Fanny here, and then first pick.
It does show that it could be a potential hint that Nightmare doesn't flex the Cho into XP. Not that we've seen it. I know Oppa prefers to set things up with something like a Gatot and a Khalid or Terizla. Fanny ban, that one is a given.
Fight
so Hilda gets that through.
Yep, Hilda gets picked up here. So GK, I kind of feel like you have to consider Alpha here,
yeah.
Right? Alpha, maybe slowing her down. Like, High Loss hasn't had good win rates, but High Loss Alpha against a Hilda, it makes sense. If you want something else, like you want to prioritize a mid laner, you can do that here too.
Yeah, I think perhaps mid laner plus
or Alpha
Hylos.
Matilda. You know what would be good? Alpha Matilda, Faramis, but you know, it's probably not their kind of comp.
I mean, even Nightmare can take the Alpha away if they want, right? You essentially just set yourself up to have a very assassin counter and have a very beefy jungler that is hard to go through.
So GK has to pick up the Alpha here. If not, it's going to be very difficult for them.
If not Alpha, the second best choice is probably Suyo.
So they pick up the Phoveus and the Alpha. So this is the other EXP laner that has been banned out quite a lot. Right now we're looking at the coaches here. They're really thinking about their next pick.
What else? This could be Eve is banned now, so they could take their jungler here. You can go Suyo for the Suyo Alpha matchup, and you can go for Aurora as well. So the Aurora comes up for So-So.
Yeah, Aurora pretty solid to stop the movements from a lot of fighters. Just have to be careful because we've seen that GK, they want to gank mid a lot. And they need a very strong roamer here because we have to consider that this Hilda is going to the EXP.
Strong roamer, what else is left? There's still the Gatot.
Yeah, honestly, Gatot is still good.
They go Matilda if they want. They stick with the Nolan first. Okay, so you essentially just want to move faster. Although the caveat is that you are dealing with a Phoveus, right? Oh, that's something that could hurt your team because you let him keep resetting the passive. Matilda gets taken by GK. I like this deal a lot.
Yeah, Matilda Alpha, Matilda Phoveus. This is a combo you don't see a lot.
That was why I was considering maybe they should take Matilda for Nightmare, but then again they want to protect Lexi's Hero Pool.
Time to take the field.
Oh boy, this actually kind of negates the fact that GK had to spend all first 3 bans on, you know, must-ban heroes, right? Now they get to focus on Cammy, they ban Bruno.
Oh yeah, like you want to get those lane oppressors out. Maybe even consider a Harif, but I would say Phoveus is okay-ish against a Harif. It's honestly more of a skill matchup more than anything. For Nightmare,
and night.
They're betting out. Okay, yeah, betting out mid lanes, respecting
the
Sicilian. What other long-range scaling mid laners do we have?
Long range? I mean, you have
technically
Odette, right? Yeah, I suppose Farsa too. But against a Matilda, no.
For GK.
Oh, for GK? Yeah. I can see that, right? You have Matilda to save you. I'm thinking it's not too bad of an idea if they go back to the CC go again. Sure, there's a Hilda,
Or Fulvius go, hold those.
but if you tie the Hilda up with someone, it completely negates what she can do.
Oh yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah. That makes good sense, yeah. So, I don't know if Nightmare wants to ban out the CC. It is a good shout,
It is in
especially if you're
despair
able to
that
get
I
the
see
Nolan as well. Like, Nolan wants to dash around, but Nolan's like, oh no, it's like marriage, I'm getting tied down.
And then you have a Fulvius, right? You have the third wheel showing up, taking you out. Oh, that's not how that works?
Actually, that is how it works. I'm impressed that you were able to keep up because
Oh, okay.
I threw that out of nowhere, but you were able to follow up. That's very impressive.
I'm
yeah.
not married, so I'm just it's just a shot in the dark. I'm glad I got it right.
Hey, you know what? Enjoy it while you can. You know,
Yeah, good times.
good times, good times. Being young is amazing, but you're older than me.
Am I? No, I don't think so. I don't think I am. I'm 97.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna reveal my age,
Yeah,
but
clearly
I'm
I'm younger. Clearly I'm younger.
yeah. Okay, now the final fans here, and they ban out the Harif. So yeah, they want to make sure they don't get snowballed on, which is kind of weird because they're the one that has the Hilda. But if you're
Right.
looking at Geekay looks like the one that can win all the lanes.
Geekay is the one that's more worried about getting snowballed on with, they banned Bruno, they also took out Natan. I mean, there's still Beatrix left. Beatrix Clint has been a matchup I've been waiting to see, but we haven't been able to see it yet. I mean, there's still Granger. Not sure if that will be picked up also for Gold. Not that good for Nightmare. I kind of feel like Nightmare doesn't want to pick a Granger anyways.
Moskov is good because you need some kind of Demon Hunter Sword hero for the Hilda, making sure that you can deal with her very, very well. So I was really considering, like, do you really want a burst hero here? Because they don't really need it. Like, they have a lot of DPS on their side. And
Yeah.
if they want the burst, it can come from mid.
Which is still hidden.
I mean, Vexana is still there if you want full control, but if you want damage, or if you want Smile to have a good time, I mean, I love Farsa. But so far, I've seen the professional players using Farsa in rank. Haven't so far in tournaments.
I have a wild idea. Now that, that's a Kaja. We've seen
Kaja Beatrix?
Kaja Beatrix, yeah?
Yeah.
Your team,
It's almost the same thing that was done to Nightmare by Denfeng
Yeah.
Yao Guai. Well, what was the idea I had? I have Xavier somehow. Somehow it popped out to my mind. You want big damage? I mean, Xavier is not bad of a pick.
Kaja steals someone and then Xavier puts him in his place. Just let him stuck there.
Yeah. Let's find out who's the mid lane. Okay, so they actually
So
picked
my draft made true, but I was like, oh, it's probably not their kind of draft, but apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah,
It is their kind of draft.
you call like 3 out of the 5 picks. Like the Faramis was like the wild card, right?
I called it before the picks were picked.
Yeah, you're like Matilda Alpha and then Faramis. And they actually picked it.
Dude, this combo, like, that's basically an SRG draft. That's an SRG draft.
Oh
let me tell
yes,
you.
I can see it.
Right? That's an
I can see
SRG
it.
draft. So honestly, looking at the drafts here, GK has an amazing draft, but looking at the draft coming in from Nightmare, it's very fast. Like, when you have a suppressed hero with the Beatrix, you know the game is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and you have Hilda with the execute damage, right? Remember, she did get buffed recently. The second ability now has lower cooldown. So let's see how much pressure Oppa can apply to GK Esports. We're gonna hop into game number 2 of this best of 3. Nightmare needs to win this to take us to game 3.
Yep, I'm really looking forward to see how GK performs with this kind of draft because it is a very strong draft, but it's not without its fault because you have to play with your timings very, very well, and it's very difficult to play on a professional stage when having all the timings essentially correct. And if they can do it, then I can definitely see a world where GK just needs a few more months, and then if they go to the international stage again, they can show what's up.
The fastest would be next year's MSC. That would be quite a tale for GK. Do hope they keep this roster because we can see we definitely see the potential. The start would be slightly different compared to game 1 where Jasmine has an easier time dealing with Shen. You know, you have both technically ranged, the damage reduction from Kaja also feels really good. Mid lane wavelet control is there for Soso as well. It's all about getting that priority to move first. And look at where Oppa is.
But no one is probably gonna go there because
It's cleared out.
It's cleared out. Yeah, no one's gonna go there. If Opera wants something, Opera has to be the one to get it. But no, Opera looks like he's just gonna be clearing He's just going to be proxying the wave, essentially.
He's got to do a bit faster because he's taking a lot more punishment than he would like to. Still though, majority of that wave is already cleared out. Mid lane burst. Now, there it is. Too easy for Lexi with first blood.
Yeah, Soul told the team, is like, you know what happened to me in game number 1? How about you guys do it against Geeky? Let Smile have a frown on his face.
Yeah. Have you seen what the jungler did? Huh? Just do that.
Just do that. Just do that.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, just go mid. You press some buttons and then you get a kill.
Yeah, if I get $1 every time I got ganked, that's on you, Lexi. Speaking of which, Oppa, he's just toying around with 4 GK members. They're gonna jump on him with the Spear of Alpha, gets frozen by Soul. First turtle for Nightmare.
Yeah, and now 2Z for Lexi gets a free turtle. And that's a very good Hilda play, absorbing a lot of the aggro from GK. And like I said, the draft coming in from GK, you need your timings to be correct. And because everyone's power spike is essentially very, very different, right? The Alpha power spike is different than the Matilda, as well as the Faramis. So a lot of juggling has to happen here.
I would assume the moment you get your War Axe on the Alpha, that's where you start going. Although, Samo is just not having too much fun against Oppa.
That's like, I keep hitting him, but he keeps healing. How is this fair? He's healing more than I can damage him.
I feel like I'm healing him. When they kidnapped Zeno just now, so this Alpha is now 2 levels behind the Nolu.
Remember what I said about the first series of the day having 3 games?
Yeah, I think you're correct.
I'm just reminding you. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just reminding you.
Now we did the first 3 games together on day 1. We had a 3 game yesterday too. Circling Eagles.
Yep, not gonna commit, and Zeno gets a kill onto Opper. And for now, looks like it will be a trade-ish. Unfortunately, GK can't really push out the bottom wave. The minion is gonna appear. Nightmare, they might gank mid again. They have the people there.
And they're gonna go just that. Shen is the target. Unfortunately, Jaspin not able to do too much with the Divine Judgment. Just came back up. If only they waited like 3 more seconds, they would have had it, but they can use it now for the next turtle to set up for it. Carby basically got side back, right? He lost the top tier 1 in under 4 minutes.
I think they want it now. They want it now.
There he is in a full combo.
Ooh.
And the Faramis though saved Samo. That is good. It's a trait.
Hey, one ult to save your team, and then everyone else using their flicker, their ults, and everything in the kitchen sink. It feels good.
It feels
good
really
timing.
Good stuff from Smile. Although you did both ultimates, both Divine Judgment and Netherrealm have quite long cooldowns in the early game. So DK now finds himself on even ground. Without the Netherrealm, I wonder how they would approach this.
Probably get a kill first here, because the Nolan can come in and execute someone, and all the while Soul is just poking everyone out. But they're focusing on the turtle. Someone has to stop Lexi, but no, he gets the free turtle.
Yeah, he's a level ahead of Zeno also. Ismail can't really stay there, he has to flick it away. Constant poke from Nightmare is a bit annoying, especially so on this Aurora. The spear does miss, which means Carby now has to start backing up.
Yeah, nice that they actually made a line and actually follow a sequence to go back to base. I'm sure it wasn't planned, but that's satisfying to watch.
It looked cooler than
it really was.
Than it should, be.
And now looking in the Thunderbells coming in from both Samo as well as Opper, so they will start scaling up here. Kami having a much better time here using the Beatrix. And Jasmine, with this Kaja, is becoming question mark for GK. Everyone has to be super careful because going through a bush, it might be your last because a Kaja can be there and then all of a sudden you're dead.
Matilda not the best hero to open up bushes either. Can't just walk straight into it. They're gonna do it again this time. Netherrealm still comes out in time to save Samo. That's the 2nd time GK Esports saves that XP laner.
That will be frustrating for a Kaja, but at the same time, seeing the opposing side having to use a lot of ults as well, kind of feels good. It is a good trade.
Yeah,
it is a good trade.
An offensive utility for a defensive one, but GK wants to amp up the pressure, gets stopped again by Soso.
Yeah, Soso's having a very good time here on the Aurora. Always making sure that he at least freezes 2 people, making it so that it's a good offensive and defensive tool for GK. Really finding difficulties here to actually start a fight because Opera is opening up the map and they're using this Matilda safely, like defensively, I mean.
It's half of Zeno's health bar. Opera will spot out both of them, circling Eagle, guiding Wind from Shen, but Zeno wants to re-engage, disengages in an instant. They get the freeze onto Smile. wasn't ready to react to that. They find the trade on the upper, but Samo also gets blown up 2 for Nightmare.
Yeah, I think DK, it was still good for them because up top, Moskov is free farming. He's able to get this turret eventually. And now Soso looking very low.
Almost gets wiped out. The pull on the Alpha, but another NetherRealm to save him for now. He runs out of the range, but was able to cover enough distance to get away. The third turtle, though, for Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare is looking especially good right now. 3.5k ahead. Geeky, at least they don't lose too many members in terms of kill. It's very much manageable for both teams. 4-2. Cammy is going to scale up. Harvey, he's getting the items that he wants. I'm just worried if he doesn't get the space that he wants, especially if Jasmine starts being a little bit more stingy with his Divine Judgment actually going for Carvey.
Every time Jasmine pulls someone back, GK are forced to run towards Nightmare Esports, and that's where Soso will have a much easier time learning all those crowd controls. 3.5k lead for Nightmare, still pretty manageable for GK.
Ooh, never mind. I thought Carvey was more ahead. Only one item here. And Beatrix having 2 items, you have to consider the Beatrix items are very expensive. So Carvey's not having a good time here, Husky. And now he's not gonna... Oh, okay, good flicker.
Thankfully, he has flicker. Now Shen has to be a bit more careful. Circling Eagle hits on the Jasmine, so the bot tier 2 will be saved. DK wants to go for the engagement of Alpha, does miss though. They fully commit into the Aurora, they soak it up with the NetherRealm, and now they will bring in the XP laner with the Vengeance, take out Oppa, and Samo somehow survives.
Yep. Nightmare still in a good position though here. Again, Soso and Cammy, it's very hard for you to get onto them. The only difficulty for GK here is that who's really going to be the one engaging in the fight.
Seems like the Alpha, and it's either Zeno or Shen.
It's better if the Phoveus has a flicker so that he can have the initial start and then everyone groups up around him and then Zeno can come in with the Spear of Alpha. But yeah, it's not happening because he is using the Vengeance.
Doesn't allow him to soak up extra damage.
Because the only thing that I'm seeing here for GK is that they don't have an engage tool. The Alpha can engage, but having the Kaja there makes it more difficult.
They're going to look for another potential engage. That is going to be the pull onto Samo this time. He's going to eat all of it up. NetherRealm shows up, but unfortunately doesn't cover Samo. Samo gets destroyed, and Zeno also runs out of the range. So both of them end up falling. A bit of a overextension from GK.
They were able to take down Kaja, but Soso is there. And that's why I feel like it's more difficult for Zeno to actually engage, because it's either the Kaja, the Hilda, or the Aurora. There's a lot of ways to stop this Alpha, and then the Alpha can take a lot of damage when he's this far behind. He only has one defensive item, and the item is the Queen's Wings. It's good, but he has a long cooldown. So once the cooldown has been done, it's not consistent. You're not consistently tanked.
I feel like for DK, they need to subconsciously remind themselves of how they position with the NetherRealm, right? Because 2 of the members walked out of range right at the end, and that kind of costed their demise. So Lord for Nightmare will come in from the bottom side. I think GK has some pretty decent base defense. If Zeno doesn't get out, he escapes, but at the cost of their roamer.
That was so quick! I barely saw the Matilda's health and she's gone. I mean, to be fair, she doesn't have defensive item. The only item she has is the Flask of the Oasis. But now Nightmare, they're in prime position and they have a marksman here. So they have a better time of ending the game. They can end the game faster than what DK did in game number 1, which is around 20 minutes.
Unfortunately for Shen, he's going for the Enchanted Talisman. So won't have much defensive stats anytime soon. DK just needs to keep inhibitors alive. But again, their wave play is not that bad. Wow. The health pool for Smao is not that big either.
Yep. Right now for GK, like I said, this is a very strong draft, but very difficult to pull off. The timings is so critical with this kind of draft. Like that's why I thought they wouldn't go for it, because it's so risky to use this draft when you don't have a lot of experience with it.
And losing 2 inhibitors and just off of the first Lord, 10k gold lead for Nightmare. Could be the last fight. GK needs to be acutely aware of Jasmine's pull. He has no flicker for another 50 seconds. Samo eats so much damage, gets pulled in, has a bit of health, so he escapes, but at the cost of Shen again, sacrifice. They find the pin onto Oppa. 1-for-1 trade. GK did have to expend NetherRealm though.
Yep, NetherRealm not being there, and I feel like if you wait long enough, you can have it back around turtle time. Now the marksman training items have been built. It's a little bit late though, 11 minutes and 30 seconds for Carvey, but at least now he has something.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, the big trades have 4 items.
I mean, Carvey is 3K behind, right? Ooh, poor dude. I mean, losing your tier 1 in 3.5 minutes definitely has its impact.
Yeah, now too easy for Lexi having 4 items as well. It looks like for both teams, the Nolan is looking very good. Alpha 4-1, looking at the kill score, honestly not that bad, but really not oppressive. He doesn't have a good game here. But if they want to do well, this is where they got to do well. They got to be able to steal the Lord. Not
only that, they have to manage, they have to be aware of the top wave, which is building up to a slow push for Nightmare Esports. 1.5 waves. They can steal. Circle Eagle. They try to bring Samo in, but he gets pulled by Jasmine. Intercepted mid-flight. And GK Esports instantly crashed and burned 2 dead bottom. Samo gets gone now. Jasmine shows up. And Oppa feeling really good about the circumstances. Triple kill for Cammy. And Nightmare Esports now with the Lord. I'm going to look to end the game.
Oh, there you go. Another catch. Smile, unable to help his teammate out.
Can't even react in time. Double kill for too easy for Lexi. And Nightmare Esports not done and out just yet. We will get game number 3.
Oh yeah, 13 minutes in, they're able to end the game. Looks like for both teams, the Nolan is helping out a lot. But let me just say, man, that Kaja, personally for me, sealed the draft.
Yeah, that and also the that personally felt like one of the play of the day for me. The Kaja mid-flight pull on the Phobius in the last fight. That one looks so great, man. But Kaja, what can you do, right? You can't deal with a suppress. No amount, nothing in the game can manage to do with a suppress.
If you're good enough, iframes. Iframes can do it, but yeah, if you're good enough. And Alpha doesn't have iframes.
No.
Phobius kind of, but it's harder to time a Phobius iframe against the Kaja's Divine Judgment. But overall, like, good drafting coming in from GK Esports. But the Kaja was really essential to make sure that isolating one target and the Aurora as well. You isolate one target, Aurora deals with the rest. So the rest can't help out.
Yeah, they want to, every single time GK wants to sort of follow up to save their teammate or to take a fight against Nightmare, they just get stopped in the tracks by the Ice Queen.
Yeah, and yeah, I feel like it is about draft for both teams here. GK, their Sicilian was banned out. I don't know if that's also one of the reasons why, but personally for me, it is the Kaja. I feel like the Kaja was a big problem that they had no way of stopping. And even when they do stop it, how many ults that they have to use? The NetherRealm. Okay, actually it's just that. But still, the NetherRealm is a big ult.
It is a huge ult, right? And you see the bit of the difference when the fleeting time was picked up by Jasmine. It kind of negates the ultimate trait because you essentially get it back up faster anyways. But yeah, despite GK getting a pretty powerful first 3 picks, Alpha, Matilda, and Phobius, the Kaja basically stops them in their tracks. And this is also sort of a landslide. I mean, it would have been the case for game 1 if GK didn't lose that second Lord, but either way, 14-5, a dominant win for Nightmare.
Yeah, right now we're gonna look at the emblems here again. Jasmine looking good, and Kaja might be those picks that we're gonna be seeing a lot.
I think so too.
Because it seems like it's a good answer to a lot of what the meta is really showing right now. Because Alpha, for some teams, is even first pickable.
Yeah.
And crowd control is good to deal against the Alpha. And what better crowd control than you have than the than suppress? Because even knockups have been nerfed. Something that we don't bring up so much, but knockups have been nerfed.
Yeah, the duration nerfed by 0.2, 0.3 seconds. You have Kaja, we've seen Franco, and even the Mongols have shown us, right? The Baraz, also a form of suppression with the Daytona's welcome. See the post-game stats in this case is a landslide victory for Nightmare.
Yeah, honestly, big landslide, and this is something that we do want to see from Nightmare. because game number 1, it looked like they were unable to really do anything. In game number 2, they showed that they can. They just need a different pick here. For GK, maybe go back to that double fire because Carvey did over 100,000 damage in the first game.
Oh yeah.
He did 11.
He just didn't have room to fight.
Actually, Carvey did the least amount of damage in this
Entire
game.
game.
And I also feel like it's more about how can you move in front to deal damage. Like the fact that they covered the Kaja for a very long time made them win the draft.
Yeah, it's so hard for Carvey to even attempt to enter the fight. That's why we have his counterpart, Beatrix, played by Cammy, 8-0-4, perfect game in game number 2. Honestly, it's uncontested. Like, this Beatrix is snowball so hard.
I feel like one of the things that might change for game number 3, maybe pick up the Bruno early. Because so far Bruno keeps getting banned.
Yeah, banned in the second phase.
And if you have the Bruno, you have a way to deal with the Beatrix.
I agree. So if you pick up the Bruno,
Because, let's talk about logic here, Husky, right? What is the use of having 4 weapons against a football?
Usually you don't expect football to hurt.
Hey, MLBB, man. Different creature altogether. And now let's look at the highlights here by Cammy. And again, the support of his team is crucial, but every single time, Cammy is there to actually follow up with the damage. And the damage, woo-wee, it's a lot.
Even though in that early phase, every single time Jasmine and Cammy try to get that combo off to one shot and Smile shows up to save them with the Netherrealm, you could see that response has its limitations.
The Matilda just blew out so fast.
Right, like...
Not gonna lie, but if it were me, you know, in Chat Talisman, oh, hold on, this is the one? Oh, I think I
oh, yeah, they blew past it.
Yeah, I blew past it. But either ways, like, I feel like for Matilda, you have to have the Flash of the Oasis. In bad situations, maybe you can negotiate with yourself not to have the Enchanted Talisman. But to be fair, at that point of the game, you can build whatever you want, and the outcome